I read about this particular story coming out of Florida, in which you have a police officer who was carrying on an inappropriate relationship with a woman who was heavy on alcohol and needed his help. This is crazy. And my question is, why did this guy only get fired and not arrested and prosecuted? Because what this article I'm about to read to you isn't telling you is the fact that this guy probably might have sexually assaulted this woman, or even worse, raped this woman. Coming from ABC 15 News in Boynton Beach, Florida, police officer been fired for having an inappropriate sexual relationship with a woman. Described in the internal investigation report as being alcohol dependent. The complaint accused Patrick Monteith of the Boynton Beach Police Department of conduct unbecoming a police officer, abusive process, attentiveness to duty, and violating the law enforcement officer's code of ethics. On December 18, 2022, the department learned Officer Monteith responded to the victim's home to check on her well-being after she was unable to gain treatment for her alcohol dependency. While the victim struggled with her condition and was in need of the appropriate services, Officer Monteith provided no such assistance. Instead, he gave her his personal cell phone number, established a personal relationship, and then a sexual relationship. This is the investigation from Internal Affairs. Furthermore, because of his position as an officer, the victim expressed fear that Officer Monteith would retaliate against her if she ended their relationship or reported him to the police. The victim said she was taken advantage of and was manipulated by Officer Monteith. The investigation found Monteith did have a personal and sexual relationship with the victim after the initial call. It was also discovered Monteith communicated with the victim frequently through cell phone calls while working. He would also visit her home while on the clock and send text messages about work-related information and activities. An explicit video to the victim shows 6 days after the initial call, Officer Monteith is seen in uniform masturbating while seated in his Boynton patrol unit. What the hell? You beat your dick in a police car? What the hell is that? Now, according to the investigation report, Monteith admitted his work-related relationship with the victim did evolve into a friendship and eventually a sexual relationship. The report also said the night after the victim called for assistance, she called Monteith and asked that he bring her alcohol to ease her withdrawal symptoms. The victim said when Monteith came into her home, he sat on her bed and exposed his penis. Monteith denied the claim about exposing himself, but admitted to responding to her home and the request that he bring her a drink and candy. So, you know what? I'm not even about to do it. Not even about to do it. Now, once Officer Monteith arrived at the victim's residence, he did not advise dispatch of his return to the location and did not document the incident or activate his body-worn camera as required by policy. The report also stated that the victim did not communicate refusal to a sexual relationship with Monteith, but she felt the relationship was not consensual because she feared retaliation since Monteith was a police officer and had a key to her apartment and had access to firearms. Monteith was terminated for furthering a sexual relationship with the individual in need of services and creating an on-duty videos of sex acts from his marked unit. The department also said he was terminated for sharing police operations and for engaging in sex acts while on duty. The Internal Affairs investigation also found Officer Monteith leveraged his position to gain the trust of a person in need and acted in an unethical manner. So my question is, why have you not put the cuffs on this guy? Last time I checked, when a person does not consent to a relationship, that's sexual assault or that's rape. And he did it through manipulation. So the question I got is, why is this police officer here only gets fired, but not arrested, and prosecuted? That's the question I got. He basically used his position to get a girl assuming the position. And that's disgusting. And that's unacceptable behavior by the so-called police officer. Now, last time I checked, you got people out here who want to ridicule and criticize athletes and talk about, oh, these athletes need to be held to a higher standard. But what about the doctors, the lawyers, the police officers, and the firemen? Or even people who serve in the military for that man, in that manner. Shouldn't those people get held to a higher standard? We hold them in high regard. You know, my late great sister told me this one time. Just because a person holds a high position don't mean they hold high qualities. And we see that here. This man should have been arrested on sight. And that's all I got to say about that. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. And I will catch y'all in another video. Peace.